Listen closely. Tonight's lunar glow carries a secret pulse, a rhythm ancient minds once trusted and feared at the same time. A cold supermoon rises, and its force stirs layers inside the human spirit that rarely speak. Many sense a shift during nights like this, yet few understand the real reason behind that inner trembling. This moment is powerful, yet unpredictable. Lunar intensity can sharpen awareness, uncover clarity, and reveal hidden wisdom, or it can pull unresolved emotions to the surface, turning a silent mind into a storm. The difference rests in a single principle: inner discipline. Without it, external energy overwhelms. With it, external energy strengthens. My path inside the Shaolin lineage taught me this. Energy rising around you awakens energy sleeping within you. So tonight's light is not simply a celestial event, it is a mirror. It reflects your state, your patterns, your truth. And if a person steps into this night without grounding, the moon amplifies every unattended corner of the mind. In this session, I will guide you through the hidden mistakes many fall into under a supermoon, and I will reveal methods from Shaolin training that steady the mind, calm the breath, and protect the spirit from inner turbulence. You will uncover lesser-known insights around lunar energy, emotional sensitivity, and how ancient practitioners navigated nights exactly like this. Stay with me until the final word, because understanding alone is not enough. Timing matters. By the end, you will carry tools that strengthen presence, sharpen intention, and align inner rhythm with natural cycles. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. Join our community of seekers and stay connected by subscribing. Silence reveals truths that noise keeps hidden. And tonight, under this rising moon, that silence becomes your greatest teacher. At the Shaolin Temple, we learned early that the mind and the body are not two separate worlds. They are threads of the same fabric. When the mind drifts, the body weakens. When the body grows tense, the mind loses clarity. Harmony comes only when both move as one, steady, attentive, unshaken. On nights when lunar energy swells, this unity becomes even more important. The full moon does not create chaos. It only magnifies what is already present. If your thoughts scatter, the moon pulls them further apart. If your emotions rise, the moon intensifies them. Many unknowingly step into this energy with a restless mind, thinking nothing will happen, yet they feel drained, unfocused, or overwhelmed without understanding why. During my early years of training, my master once told me, "When the world grows louder, you must grow quieter." A lesson I didn't fully grasp until I observed how easily the body reacts when the mind wanders. Fear stiffens the breath. Nostalgia pulls the chest inward. Uncontrolled emotion makes the steps unsteady. The moonlight becomes a mirror showing these small cracks in discipline. So the first mistake to avoid tonight is letting your inner world drift without guidance. A wandering mind leaks energy. It invites old memories, unresolved worries, and imagined futures to invade the present moment. Under a supermoon, those small thoughts become waves strong enough to shake your balance. When mind and body stand together, the moon becomes a friend. When they pull apart, the same moon becomes a storm. This is the lesson: return to center. Unite breath with movement, intention with awareness. Only then can you walk calmly through a night like this. Emotions rise like tides, and nights like this make those tides stronger. The full moon has a way of pulling on the inner ocean, stirring thoughts you thought were settled, awakening memories you believed were silent. This is not a punishment. It is simply the nature of heightened energy. Yet when a person moves through this intensity without awareness, even small emotions can become storms. In Shaolin teaching, we were reminded often that the first enemy is not outside. It is the reaction within. A flash of anger, a moment of jealousy, a sudden spike of fear. These are not dangerous by themselves. What becomes dangerous is the impulse to act from them. Many of the greatest mistakes humans carry in their hearts began with a single unobserved emotion. There was a night during training when the moon hung low and bright. One student felt restless, irritated without reason. He spoke sharply, moved carelessly, lost control of simple routines. The master said quietly, The moon only showed him his own fire. That lesson stayed with everyone present. The moon does not create your emotions. It magnifies what you have not yet mastered. When emotional waves rise, the untrained mind tries to extinguish them with reaction, shouting, withdrawing, overthinking, or seeking distraction. The trained mind does something different. It watches. It gives the emotion space, but not control. It understands that feelings are visitors, not rulers. Ancient practitioners knew this well. They treated heightened nights as spiritual checkpoints, moments to observe what still lives in the subconscious. In their silence, they allowed emotions to surface like clouds passing across the sky. No grasping, no fighting. This is the path of inner mastery, letting emotions speak, but not letting it steer. On nights of amplified energy, the one who observes remains steady. The one who reacts becomes lost. Energy moves quietly through the body, but its presence is unmistakable to anyone who has trained to feel it. In Shaolin philosophy, qi is not a mystical idea. It is the living current that links intention, breath, and movement. When it flows smoothly, a person feels centered, clear, and grounded. When it leaks or scatters, the body grows tired and the mind becomes unstable. Nights of strong lunar influence can stir this inner current. Some feel a restless vibration in the chest. Others sense a pull in the mind, as if thoughts are moving faster than usual. This is natural. Intense nights don't create new energy. They awaken the energy already within you. The challenge is not the strength of the qi, but how you choose to guide it. There is an old story from temple training about a student who felt unusually powerful during a full moon. He pushed harder, trained longer, tried to ride the wave of energy without restraint. By dawn, he was exhausted, unfocused, and frustrated. The master said, "You tried to control the river by swimming against it. You forgot to breathe with it." This is the danger. When qi rises and the mind becomes restless, many respond with overthinking, emotional reactions, or unnecessary movement. All of this leaks energy. It turns a natural surge into fatigue. Even simple worry can drain more qi than physical effort. The wiser path is quieter. Ground the feet, relax the shoulders. Let the breath soften and deepen. When you breathe with awareness, the energy calms. When the mind stays centered, the qi gathers instead of scattering. Ancient practitioners understood that strength is not found in force, but in alignment. On nights of heightened energy, protect your inner current. Don't chase intensity, and don't resist it. Stand with it, breathe with it, and let it settle into clarity. The moon's light has always been a companion for those who seek truth within themselves. On nights like this, its brightness feels almost symbolic, not just illuminating the sky, but illuminating the hidden corners of the mind. The full moon draws awareness upward, sharpening intuition, clearing the mental fog that often blurs our inner vision. Yet many respond to this clarity with avoidance instead of courage. It is easy to slip into distraction when energy rises. Some chase noise, others dive into drama, and many reach for indulgence to silence the growing whisper inside them. But these reactions only cover the surface. They do nothing for the parts of the self that quietly ask for attention. The moon is not calling you to escape. It is calling you to look. There is an old temple saying, "When the night grows brightest, look into your own shadow." It reminds practitioners that heightened energy is a perfect moment to study the patterns that shape their lives, the habits that strengthen them, and the ones that quietly weaken them. Under this light, the mind becomes more honest if you allow it. Insights rise more naturally, emotions speak more clearly. Reflection is not the same as dwelling. It is the art of seeing without judgment, acknowledging without fear, and learning without resistance. Shaolin self-mastery was never about perfection. It was about the courage to witness oneself fully. Strength grows from this kind of honesty. So rather than spending this night running from your inner world, step toward it. Sit with your thoughts. Trace the patterns of your emotions. Recognize your progress, your wounds, your strengths, and the areas still calling for discipline. The full moon gives a rare clarity, not for escape, but for truth. Use it to meet yourself with openness and presence. Feelings rise and fall like weather, shifting without warning, changing their shape from hour to hour. On a night charged with lunar intensity, those shifts can feel even stronger. A sudden rush of inspiration, a wave of restlessness, a pull toward old emotions that normally stay quiet. These movements inside you are natural, but they are not meant to guide your actions. Shaolin teachings remind us that discipline is not the absence of feeling, it is the ability to stay steady while feelings move through you. A practitioner learns early that emotions are temporary visitors, and building one's life around temporary states leads to imbalance. Strength comes from the part of you that remains unmoved, even when your inner world begins to sway. During training, there were nights when students felt energized and nights when they felt heavy. Some wanted to push harder, others wanted to stop entirely. The master would say, "If you follow your feelings, they will take you everywhere except where you need to go." Discipline means you continue your practice even when your mood disagrees. It means you honor your routines, not because they feel easy, but because they shape your foundation. The full moon can tempt you to break that foundation. You may feel too awake to rest, too emotional to meditate, too distracted to follow your usual rhythm, but giving in to those feelings drains more strength than the moon ever offers. One skipped routine becomes two. One night of neglect becomes a pattern. The wiser path is simple. Stay rooted, hold to your practices, keep your breath steady, your actions clear, your rest protected. Feelings may rise like waves, but your discipline is the anchor. Let the emotions pass, let the discipline remain. Some nights awaken a powerful urge to move, to act, to chase the energy rising through the body. The full moon often brings this sensation, a surge that feels like momentum, inspiration, or even purpose. Yet ancient Shaolin wisdom teaches that true mastery is not measured by how much you do, but by how wisely you move between doing and not doing. Activity and stillness are not opposites, they are partners. In the temple, the middle way was more than a philosophy. It was lived each day. Students trained intensely, but they rested with equal intention. They struck with power, yet returned to softness. They pushed the body to its limits, then sat in silence to return the breath to harmony. The balance was deliberate, never accidental. One without the other created imbalance. Too much force led to injury, too much stillness led to stagnation. The full moon can stir the body into action, making you feel as if you must do more than usual. It can feel like a wave carrying you forward, but a wave, if not respected, can also pull you under. Many burn themselves out on nights of heightened energy, mistaking intensity for clarity, restlessness for purpose. The next day, they feel drained, unfocused, or overwhelmed. The wiser approach is gentler. Use the energy, but don't consume it all. Move when you feel guided, but pause before you push. Let your actions have intention rather than impulse. Balance your effort with quiet reflection. Allow moments of stillness to absorb the lessons hidden beneath the surface. In this balance, the full moon becomes a teacher rather than a distraction. It reveals how easily the mind leans toward extremes, and how deeply the body responds when harmony is restored. Energy rises. Energy settles. Mastery lives in honoring both. The full moon sharpens the inner senses in a way ordinary nights do not. Thoughts become clearer, instincts more noticeable, and emotions more honest. Some describe it as a soft inner light turning brighter, revealing what usually stays hidden beneath daily distractions. This increase in intuition is not random. It is an invitation to look within. Yet many people take this heightened awareness and aim it outward. They become more reactive, more sensitive to others' behavior, more entangled in conflict or blame. When energy rises, the mind often seeks a target, and without awareness, it chooses the easiest one, the outside world. But external drama only scatters the clarity the moon offers. It turns insight into noise. Ancient practitioners understood that the real work lies within. When intuition sharpens, it reveals subtle fears that shape your decisions, habits that drain your strength, and beliefs that quietly limit your growth. A person must be willing to turn toward these shadows, not away from them. This is not comfortable work, but it is transformative. There is a saying from the old masters, when sight becomes clear, look inside first. When the moon amplifies your awareness, use it to recognize the places where you still cling, avoid, or repeat old patterns. Notice the thoughts that rise naturally. They are not random. They are messages. Notice the emotions that feel louder than usual. They are pointing to wounds ready to heal. The mistake is to let this energy turn into accusations, arguments, or projections. When you cast your inner turbulence onto others, you lose the opportunity for growth. The clarity evaporates. Instead, let the heightened intuition guide you inward. Sit with the questions that surface. Pay attention to the discomfort. Allow the insights to shape new understanding. This is how the full moon becomes a tool for inner transformation, not a spark for outer chaos. Pride often disguises itself as strength, and on nights when energy rises, it becomes louder, more tempting. The full moon shines on every corner of the mind, illuminating both clarity and vanity. Ancient Shaolin masters taught that true power is quiet. It is not performed for applause, nor displayed to prove superiority. It is steady, disciplined, and compassionate. On nights like this, unresolved tension or subtle ego can rise without warning. A small irritation can swell into judgment. A fleeting thought of superiority can turn into conflict. The moon does not create these impulses. It only amplifies what is already present. It tests the foundation of humility, patience, and awareness. There is a story of a student who trained for years in the temple, mastering technique and form. One night, under a bright moon, he felt pride swell with every movement. He believed his skill distinguished him. The master quietly observed and later said, "The moon does not honor skill without heart. Without humility, mastery is an empty shell." That lesson has echoed through generations. Skill and energy must always be tempered with inner calm and compassion. The mistake is obvious yet subtle, letting the heightened energy become fuel for ego, drama, or showmanship. When pride rules, even small conflicts escalate, and energy meant for growth is wasted on tension and discord. The wiser path is to remain grounded. Notice the surge, acknowledge it, and let it pass without feeding it. Practice kindness, even to those who irritate you. Speak softly, act deliberately, and allow the heart to guide the mind rather than impulse or vanity. Humility is not weakness. Non-attachment is not apathy. Together, they create a mind and heart resilient to the moon's amplification. They allow clarity to shine through where ego would otherwise cast shadows. In this space, the full moon becomes a teacher of compassion, presence, and true mastery. The seniors over to. Intentions are like seeds planted in fertile soil. On nights of a full moon, the energy feels potent, as if the universe itself leans in to witness them. Many traditions honor this time for setting goals, releasing old patterns, or calling for healing. The temptation is strong to speak desires aloud, to visualize change, and to believe that this alone will shape reality. Yet in Shaolin practice, intention is never enough. A thought, no matter how sincere, carries little weight without disciplined action to support it. True transformation requires more than wishful thinking. It demands consistent effort, self-honesty, and unwavering integrity. The full moon amplifies your intentions, but it also exposes their weakness. Without grounded practice, even the brightest desires fade like moonlight behind clouds. There was a student who wished for courage during training. He meditated under a full moon, spoke affirmations, and visualized himself fearless. Yet when faced with real challenge, he faltered. The master said, "A seed planted without water will not grow. Your courage must be cultivated, not imagined." The lesson is clear. Moonlight cannot replace discipline. The danger lies in using heightened energy to chase fleeting impulses or inflate expectations. Desire alone becomes distraction, and impulsivity undermines growth. The wiser path is to combine intention with structure. Set your goal, but also outline the practice, the repetition, the reflection needed to support it. Honor the process as much as the outcome. Under the full moon, align intention with moral clarity. Let your actions reflect your words. Allow discipline to water the seeds of desire. In this way, the energy of the night does not simply inspire dreams. It transforms them into reality through grounded, mindful effort. Moments of intensity reveal the mind in its truest form. Under the full moon, thoughts rise, emotions swell, and impulses become louder than usual. It is tempting to follow each surge, to react, to merge with every feeling as if it defines who we are. Yet ancient Shaolin and Buddhist teachings offer a different path, the practice of witnessing without attachment. In the temple, students were taught to sit quietly, letting thoughts drift past like clouds across a clear sky. The instruction was simple, yet profound: observe without grasping, note without judgment. When the mind becomes a witness rather than a participant, each sensation loses the power to control action. The moon may heighten perception, but it cannot disturb one who remains centered. There is a story of a monk during a night of bright moonlight. Waves of restlessness and fear arose within him, as memories and desires surfaced unexpectedly. Others might have panicked or acted impulsively, but he remained still. He noticed each emotion, each impulse, as it came and went, without clinging or pushing away. By the time dawn arrived, his mind was calmer than ever, not because the energy had lessened, but because he had learned to move through it without being moved by it. The mistake many make is merging with every sensation. Reacting to each thought or emotion gives them control over your inner state, leaving you scattered and unsteady. True mastery is cultivated in the space between stimulus and response, in the quiet recognition that you are not your emotions, not your fears, not your fleeting desires. On nights when energy rises and the mind feels turbulent, return to the role of the witness. Observe without attachment, release without resistance, and remain anchored in presence. In this practice, the self loosens and clarity deepens. Energy flows, yet you do not flow with it. You remain centered, steady, and free. The full moon reflects more than light. It reflects what is already within us. Its glow does not create energy out of nothing. It simply amplifies the currents of the mind and heart, revealing their patterns with startling clarity. What we carry inwardly shapes the night we experience. In the Shaolin tradition, this is a lesson repeated quietly, day after day. Your inner state determines your relationship with the world. A mind rooted in calm perceives challenges as opportunities. A heart guided by discipline responds to turbulence with clarity. Conversely, a restless mind magnifies external disturbances. A heart clouded by fear or attachment sees shadows where there is only light. The moon does not favor one or the other, it only reveals what is already present. There is a story of a young disciple who watched the full moon rise over the temple courtyard. He felt tension and agitation welling inside him, yet he did not yet understand its power. As the night passed, small frustrations in his thoughts seemed larger, and small disagreements in the temple felt magnified. By dawn, he realized that the turbulence outside mirrored the unrest within. Only then did he begin to train the mind to stay centered, to cultivate inner stillness before seeking clarity in action. The night of the full moon becomes a mirror. It shows discipline or it shows chaos. It reflects patience or it reflects restlessness. The same luminous sky above can feel serene or overwhelming depending on the state carried within. The way of Shaolin teaches that mastery begins inside. By tending to clarity, presence, and balance within, you shape how energy, challenges, and even celestial forces are experienced. Tonight, the moon does not change the world. It simply illuminates the world you already carry inside yourself. Adopna. The full moon rising on the 4th of December 2025 is more than a celestial event. It is a reflection of what you carry within. Its light amplifies both clarity and chaos, strength and distraction, awareness and impulse. Shaolin wisdom teaches that the key to navigating such nights lies in unity, mind, body, and spirit aligned. Discipline guiding action, awareness guiding emotion, compassion guiding intention, presence guiding response. When you meet this night with calm attention, grounded discipline, and humble awareness, the energy around you becomes a teacher rather than a challenge. It can illuminate hidden patterns, deepen understanding, and strengthen mastery over yourself. When you neglect these principles, the same energy can magnify fears, cravings, and inner turbulence. Remember, the full moon is not spectacle, it is a mirror. It reflects what you bring inward and shows you where to grow. Use it as a path, a guide for reflection, intention, and mindful action. Let its light remind you to return to balance, presence, and integrity. Carry these lessons into your daily life. Notice how attention and discipline shape your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Let the practice of mindful observation extend beyond the lunar night and allow clarity, calm, and purpose to grow steadily within you. If this guidance resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and join our community by subscribing to Shaolin Soulfire. Together, we continue the path of awareness, mastery, and inner strength, one mindful step at a time.